Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about Not Enough Nelsons. He just dropped a video like literally 5 minutes ago. You're seeing this the next day, but they just dropped a video about why they're no longer family vlogging. I have not seen it. I've not read anything about it, but something tells me it's not what you think. It's probably going to be something like, oh, we were thinking about it, and they're going to probably, if anything changes, they'll probably go back on it in a month. But let's take a look at why Not Enough Nelsons are lying to you now. So you've been following the Dad Challenge podcast for a while. One of the main things I talk about here is the exploitation of children online, especially when it comes to family vlogging. It is a battle I have taken on and I have taken very seriously, and we also have a lot of fun with it. We can snark, we have comfort snark. We've actually changed a lot of people's minds. I would say thousands of people have changed their mind about family vlogging because of what I do here, and I've heard it from people. Now, that's awesome because people will see some of the common sense that I'm putting out here, and they will grasp onto it and be like, that's common sense. I like this common sense, and I think that Josh is right. Now, some people don't agree with the way that I do it, and that is okay too, okay? There are lots of great people out there who call it family vloggers, and I think they're amazing for what they do, and you should follow them, and you should follow me, and we're all doing this together. We're all one big happy family. But Not Enough Nelsons is one of those families that really gets me, because they're ultra uber wealthy without YouTube. Okay, they make tons of money without. I think the dad, the coach, or whatever his name is, he's got a very successful construction business. I think they had a mansion before they started vlogging. I think it's Acidy or a Just Ass, the one who's about to have a baby and probably gonna continue to exploit her siblings and her baby. Actually, what she'll probably do is do the family vlogging thing and then forget about her sisters and her brothers and stuff like that. That's probably what's gonna happen. Anyway, Just Cass, I think, started the whole thing. And then Tiffany, I think the mom, is the one that joined in, and they make tons and tons of money. But the thing is, they don't need this to make money. And the other thing they did was Crazy Pieces and Crazy Middles adopted a bunch of people. Not Enough Nelsons adopted a bunch of kids. And again, told all their personal stories. There is multiple videos on the Not Enough Nelsons channel about how these kids are bullied at school, and they capitalize on it. And then they will make cringy music videos. And they'll put out cringy content. And these kids are all getting older. There's apparently one kid out there, his name is Bridger, who comes from this family. I think he's adopted. I think he is. And is not doing so well post-fame from Not Enough Nelsons. Now, I have reached out to Bridger. He has not reached out back to me, and I leave this channel open for him if you'd like to come whistleblow on the realities. I think, like Sherry Frankie, he has an opportunity to get out there on my channel or his own or whatever and talk about the real life version of child vlogging, of being a child on these vlogs. Again, he doesn't have to disparage them personally, but he can tell people his experience, and it should change people's minds. I can guarantee you that Sherry Frankie has changed multiple thousands of people's minds from and fans that used to be fans of 8 Passengers who no longer are because Sherry Frankie decided to speak out. And thank God that she did. And there are more speaking out. Now, again, Bridger, I hope he does eventually speak out. And I know that there's going to be more kids that come from these families that will speak out. Not Enough Nelsons, Crazy Pieces, Crazy Middles, Doherty Dozen. You're going to see a bunch of kids come out from this who are going to get nothing from it, who are going to not really benefit from it or have not benefited from the channel, except to live in these nice houses and stuff like that. But they're going to come out later, and they're going to write books, and they're going to do videos, and they're going to tell you what it's really like, because I'm telling you, it's a nightmare for most of them. It is not a normal life. These kids don't, oh, you have such a great life because you're rich. That doesn't mean anything to these kids. Okay, they grew up in privilege. And so when they come outside of that privilege and they start living their own lives, they're going to start looking back and reflecting on how bad it was that they were exploited to the degree that they were exploited. And they're going to come tell people that this is not right. I was famous against my will. I was famous against my consent. I was bullied at school. It was hard for me to make friends. It's everything about me is online. Like when I first got my period, every time I've been to the hospital, my first dates, all personal information about me you should never know. That's online for anybody to consume forever. I don't care if you delete anything. Online is forever. And these people don't care. If there's one thing that has been resounding about all of these family vloggers who run these things is they don't care about their children's privacy. At the bare minimum, they don't care. Now they might be like, well, it affords us the ability to go to Disney and buy nice cars and nice houses and all that kind of stuff. But does your kid care about that? I think a truly happy child is someone who gets to spend a lot of time with their parents, has great open communication and relationship with their parents, and doesn't have to work, right? Can just be a kid. none of these kids can just be kids, because everything about their lives is content. Every single thing. Doherty Dozen, for the last 4 years or 3 years, whatever she's been on, has not had one birthday, one Christmas, one any type of celebration that has not been filmed for the camera. Not one moment have those kids got any privacy in the last 3 years of anything special. Nothing. Not a vacation, not Christmas morning, nothing. The same goes for Not Enough Nelsons, Crazy Pieces, Crazy. They not only that, those are the moments they make the most money. They capitalize on those, and these kids never get a semblance of a real childhood, and it's really scary. And this is how much Not Enough Nelsons makes currently. In the last 28 days, they have gained 14.7 million long views. Now I'm telling you, okay, if the CPM is where it should be, you're talking about $200,000 to $350,000 a month this family's pulling in on YouTube alone. Okay? A month. Over the lifetime of this channel, it says 10 million. You can triple that. Okay? Almost 900 million views. Sorry, 2.26 billion views. 900 million, which are long views. Okay? I know how much I've made on here, so I kind of like use the math. They have made easily 10 to 17 million dollars on just this channel, and they have gaming channels, and Just Ass has their own channel, and a lot of the other kids have their own channels. So just on this channel alone, they have made more wealth than most people will ever see in 10 lifetimes, just by exploiting children. Now their subscribers are continuing to rise, 3.96, like not very fast. So I'm glad about that, but steady growth over the last 3 months, over the year. They have plateaued a bit right now. They're on a steady plateau, and it seems like a lot of YouTubers are actually. And family vlogging is now being called out for the right reasons, and I'm not sure that's playing into this. But the last big thing that they did was they went to Maui, and when the fires were going on, they like totally exploited it in like 5 videos worth. They took hotel rooms from people who needed it. They exploited their suffering. They went through with their cameras and they showed everything, all for their own benefit. And it was disgusting. These people claim to be Mormon. Okay, now you know how I feel about Mormons. Mormons aren't Christians. But Mormons do have to adhere to a strict version of their Book of Mormon and the Bible. Okay? Which is not to be exploitative, not to be liars, not to be abusers, and to live a good life. These people do none of those things. And not only that, like they exploit people's like heartache, especially when it comes to Maui and everything else, and they exploit their children. And I'm telling you to this point, like, and I know this because I went to Bible college. So I literally took theology and hermeneutics and all these things I had to take at Bible college. And I've been educated in the Bible. I'm not saying I know everything about the Bible. I'm not saying I know that. But I know the fundamentals of what it kind of stands for, right? And I know that, and I think most Christians would agree, and if you don't, you're kind of weird. But most people who believe what the Bible says, and Mormons claim that they do, child exploitation is abuse, and child abuse is a sin. Like, to the point where if you hurt one of my littles, tie a millstone around your neck and get tossed into the sea. That's what the Bible says about people who do bad things to children. And exploitation is a bad thing to children. Okay? And we know this because they've come out multiple times. Many of them have come out and said what a bad thing it has been for their life. Shay Frankie admitted to that. During the time I was doing it, I didn't think it was so bad, but now in retrospect, in hindsight, I realize how bad it is. I think the Bridger is probably going to be similar to that. I think you're going to see a lot of Crazy Pieces are I'm sure on that route. Okay? Doherty Dozen, I guarantee you there's going to be a bunch. Okay, there's so many out there that have lived this life, and as they get older, it's crazy because you see them less and less in vlogs because they don't want to do it anymore. Their whole life has been working, and when they finally have the opportunity to stop, they do, and that speaks volumes. So anyway, let's take a look at this video and see what she has to say, because I'm sure it's gong show.
Hey, Ninja.
I hate this lady. She's so fake.
Today I have a very important...
But I gotta give her props. She hasn't filled her face full of fillers and got fake lips and teeth and noses and boobs and everything else. Because so many times we see that, and sometimes you just got to recognize that at least to that, she hasn't completely destroyed herself.
Video for you guys. We are commemorating 5 years in December that we have been on this amazing YouTube journey, and we are so grateful for each and every one of our subscribers.
Can you imagine this being, she's really like this in real life? She's not. But imagine someone was like this in real life. Ugh.
I just want to tell you how grateful I am. So as we've looked back on these past 5 years, we are going to make a few changes in our channel, which include shifting away from family vlogging.
I doubt it. I can't see it. They make all of their money from family vlogging. If it's going to shift away to you just being you, Tiffany, on here and like saying, hey, I'm a mom, I'm Mormons, and look at our castle, nobody's going to watch that. The Not Enough Nelsons like fan base is a lot of kids and predators, but more kids. So I can't see them changing that. But let's see what she says.
We want to share with you guys why we are doing this and what is next for Not Enough Nelsons. So to understand why we're making this change, I want to start back with how it all began. When we first started YouTube,
I hate this Tide commercial music that they put behind their freaking videos.
Stopping to capture those really cute memories or really cute moments.
Shut up. And you know what instead you did is you captured everything and made it fake. And then it zoomed by without your kids getting parents because now you're full-time vloggers. And I know it's not real work, but it takes almost all of your time, right? Because you're thinking of content and everything you do is content now. Instead of just, oh, I wasn't stopping to capture those moments. You're like, what moments can we do now so we can film them? They're not real. They're not authentic moments of family. You're like, how can we make money off what we're about to do next? Every decision you make for every memory you make is how you're going to make money on it. That's not what families do. Okay, so you switch from one thing, oh, we're not capturing these moments with these zoomed by moments, into we have to fake every moment for the camera.
Really enough, like hardly any videoing is happening, and I was thinking, wow, that would be such a great way to journal all of these crazy.
Here we go. Family Vlogger page 275. We like to journal our discovery journeys. Look at the journey that we're discussing. You can journal anything. You don't have to share it with the internet.
Fun years. Secondly, we met another YouTube family that made it look like so much fun. And
I can decipher this for you. I can translate family vlogger. We met another family that was making millions of dollars on YouTube.
We worked for them for a while, and they are still to this day our dear friends, and we were just super excited to try it out. And third, on one of my walks that I do in the morning, I was reflecting on how I really wanted to write a book one day.
Great. Can't wait to read that shit.
About adoption and just all of the miracles that have happened in our lives. And the thought just popped into my mind, and like a literal voice said, you need a microphone.
Podcasting equipment should be really you should have to have a license, and you should have to pass a test.
Right? And so I thought,
why do you need a microphone? What have you given to the world, Tiffany? What have you given to the world? All you've done is share your children's stories without their consent. You've done nothing. You've not given anything to anybody. And if you've contributed to some degree, it is way more that you've taken away than you've given, and taken away from your children than you've given to anybody else. So you've taken their privacy and everything else, and you've given it to strangers. That's what you've done.
Wait, is YouTube the microphone you're talking about? So I continued to pray about it on that.
Your hands are evil.
And then I came home and I gathered together all 15 kids at the time, and
what'd she wink? What's that mean?
And I said, guys, how would you feel about starting a family YouTube channel? And
oh my God, and they were like, Mom, right? Like, why do we channel? Her vocal fry, because I don't like her. It's compounding the hate. And
oh my gosh, they went crazy. They were jumping up and down and screaming. And
no, they weren't.
He was actually, Mom, that's a really good idea. I think we could do really well on YouTube. And I can kind of run the channel. I'm like, perfect.
So that's what it sounds like. Cass had the idea and you just told her that it was your idea.
That would be awesome. All of the kids were super excited. I did have to promise.
She's premising this because the kids are no longer super excited, is what she's saying.
One of my teenagers at the time that I would never show our dirty laundry. And in that moment, I actually promised myself that I would never show our dirty laundry.
Well, you failed. I'll tell you that much. You have completely failed. Remember that she said this, that I would never show dirty laundry. You failed.
If you know what I mean, that I would.
You took your daughters and had sex talks on camera with them about purity and gave them purity rings and basically made them sign purity pledges on camera. Your kids have been bullied at school and you've filmed it. You've filmed breakdown moments of it. Your kids have probably had their periods. You probably put that on camera. Your kids have probably been to the hospital 100 times. That's like... It's not dirty laundry. Like, are you saying you're not going to... We promise not to show the gross parts of our life that everybody would hate us for. Really? Great promise. That's to your benefit, by the way.
Put boundaries and guardrails about what exactly I would film. And so at that time, I just thought to myself, well, anything that kids say, no, I don't want that, or I don't want to film that, we wouldn't do.
But you still did everything else, and you didn't have their consent. Now, a lot of them would be like, I asked their consent. You can't get consent from children, everybody. I don't care if you ask them and they say wholeheartedly, full-throatedly, yeah, I'm so jumping up and down. I don't care. Your kids cannot give informed consent because they are uninformed about the consequences of what's about to happen. So you can't ask kids consent. It doesn't work that way.
We would never share like deep emotions. Like if they were really sad about
Bet your Bridger is probably looking at this and being like, excuse me?
something, that's not something to share on YouTube. Or if they were scared of something, again, not something to share on YouTube.
Like being bullied at school? Because the first thing I know any kid who's being bullied at school, because I was bullied at school, it'd be awesome if I could have just went home when I was bullied in school and told the internet that I was bullied at school, because that would make it better. Yeah. Have you ever been bullied? So these kids come home from school, they tell YouTube that they've been bullied, and you think it's going to stop the bullying? It's going to make it worse.
That it would just be a time when our family could bond together, create all these fun memories, and to showcase what it was like to live in a great, big, crazy, happy family. And I just wanted to keep it real. Like, that was my biggest thing. I want to keep it real so that I don't paint this.
None of the things that they show you guys are real. That's the thing. And when they tell you it's real and raw, they're lying to you. Because she just got done telling you that she's not going to show you her dirty laundry, right? So if you're going to show the real family that you are, or you're not. Okay, if you're just going to pick some parts out and create content based on what you can make money on, because everything now is content. There's nothing genuine about it when you have to, like, what are we doing now? How are we filming this? What's the logistics of filming this? We're going to Hawaii. None of it's real. So you're not filming your real life at all. You're lying to people.
Perfect picture that everything's perfect. I want people to know it's okay that we all have problems.
No, you don't want people to know that, because you just told everybody that your kids, and you made this pledge that you're not going to show your dirty laundry. So no, you don't show your problems. No, you don't.
And that we all have, life happens.
But she does.
And we're not all perfect, and we don't have the perfect picture of a house and the perfect picture of this. It's really...
She's absolutely out of her damn mind, because they live in a castle. They drive like $100,000 SUVs, probably 10 of them. Okay, their daughter drives a G-Wagon. Okay, her nails are always perfectly manicured. Her hair's always done in some bow. And like, again, there's never anything that's like, oh, I love that. You mean all you've shown is the ideal of perfection, you damned liar, and we know it's a lie.
Important to me that I showed the world that life can be fun even when it's crazy and hard.
Shut up.
And do all of that while kind of keeping a little bit of distance for our privacy.
Your privacy. The audacity of this neck skin to sit there and tell us we want to have some privacy while they showed their children on the internet for the last 5 years, sometimes 3 to 4 times a week. The audacity to say privacy in anything. When you can look at her channel, most popular videos, who got in a car accident? The number one video, 9.6 million views. Who got in a car accident? Then Just Ass's video from last Christmas, which is so bad, by the way. Oh my gosh. What were our names before adoption? That's private. School lockout, day of life of Mom 6, probably had to do something with a shooter in school. Filmed it. Birth and adoption in order stories. Handcuffed to our crushes. You think the kids are going to like that later on in life? Like, get wrecked, you stupid dumbass. I can't believe she's just up here lying. You're going to the outer darkness.
So it all began. Our first videos were all just super fun and super exciting. Like, you remember our first video? The kids had a blast filming all the different...
Your first video was clickbait.
...aspects of our family and their different personalities. And then some of our next videos...
Why was it called I'm No Longer Part of This Family then? Why would you clickbait that?
...were like Mary Poppins in real life, which was so much fun. And another video was swapping houses with Ohana Adventures, which was awesome.
That's their friend, the Ohana Adventures. I should cover them now.
And it was a little bit more of a scripted content, but it was super fun for the kids to film. And then they started into all the challenges, right? Last leave the bounce house and all the fun challenges they did. We did that for about a year. We started to notice that we were getting a ton of questions about
why is the music so loud?
Real life was actually like with 15.
Why are you playing epic music like she's in a battle for her life? Shut up!
Kids and soon to be 16, and all the questions that come along with a big family.
See, people wanted to know about real life, so we started answering all these personal questions about our children.
Full of adoption, and I was super excited and maybe naively to share a ton of...
There she is. There it is. I was super excited to share about my kids' personal things. And now that they're old enough to realize I messed up, oops, whoopsie doozy.
Like all of the amazing experiences that we've had as a family with adoption and to kind of promote adoption in big families. And guys, this was my first experience.
Turn the effing music down. It's pissing me off.
On YouTube. And this was my kids' first experience on YouTube. And our heart was in the right place.
No, it wasn't. Your heart was not in the right place. You were looking to make tons of money. That's not your heart being in the right place. You're not in the right place. So this is what she's setting it up to be like, but we were perfect. Everything was good. My heart was, I had good intentions.
We really just wanted to put out good content that brought light and life and love into the world and showed them what it was.
By exploiting children, by the way. Don't forget, ever forget that the foundation of these channels is that they want to bring life and light in by exploiting children.
Like to have a big family. And then after about a year, I filmed our very first morning routine with a large family. And
which was fake, probably.
It went viral. It just got a ton of views because I think it answered a ton of the questions you guys had about like what it's really like living with a family this big, right? And it was fun for the kids. They were like, that was fun. That was easy. It's actually easier to film like just what really happened.
So she's telling you the truth right now. And she's like, well, we forced them to work a lot more in the first 2 years. And then by the third year, we did this thing and the kids were excited because they didn't have to work so much. That was what it is. They didn't have to script everything so much. And so she's telling you, she put these kids to work, man, for the first couple of years. And then it got easier and like, thank God, there's something we can do that's not work. But it's still work.
You know, challenges and things that we have like this, like storyline 4 or in real life or skit type in real life things.
Yeah, there's no in real life things when it's the other shit.
And so we started kind of diving more into like, oh, well, this is a fun experience our family's doing, so let's show this. Or, oh, this happened and this could really help people out there, so let's show this. The kid.
Again, if you ever hear a family vlogger use this excuse that this could really help somebody, you can punch them right in the lips. You have my permission, figuratively speaking. Okay, because that's a damn bullshit lie. Weiss Life was one of these families, and I got the inside scoop from Gabrielle's aunt, I think it was, who I was speaking to at the time. This is way back in the days, like really early in my channel. And Gabrielle had spoken to her aunt a bunch about when they had forced her to go bra shopping on camera or talk about tampons and maxi pads and all this kind of stuff in periods. The mother from Weiss Life gave her the ultimatum and says, we do this because there are single dads out there who don't know what they're doing with their daughters, and so we're doing them a favor. How she convinced Gabrielle, I think that's her name, to do those videos. They coerce their children and lie to them by saying, oh, single dads need to watch this video so they know what to do. That's literal. We're helping people by exploiting children. Because nobody knows how to parent unless you watch Not Enough Nelson's Parent. Right?
Kids were having fun and we just kept growing. Now, even though looking back, my kids were totally fine with filming some of the deeper issues, like them being
notice what she says here. They were fine before.
Bullied or them having a hard time finding friends or even emergency room videos. But as their mom...
Here's why your kids have a hard time finding friends, because let me tell you this. You guys are ultra wealthy and ultra privileged and you can do anything you want. You have enough money to do anything. In my experience, those are the kids at my school that had the most friends. I'm not saying all the time, but for the most part, the kids who could do more things, who had money and were privileged, had better lives. I'm not lying. That's just what I think, okay? She has 15 kids. Of the 15 kids who have these very privileged lives, most of them will be popular in school. Okay, they have a popular YouTube channel, all that kind of stuff. So the fact that a lot of her kids can't make any friends really speaks volumes, because they were so damn busy making content that these kids couldn't just come home from school and go hang out with friends because they got to come home and film content. That's really, really heartbreaking, right? Can't go hang out with a friend on the weekend and do a sleepover? Nope, we got to film content. If you're not in this video, people are going to be wondering where you are. Right? Can I go hang out? Can I go do it? These kids were literally locked into this family and not able to have normal childhoods because they were working.
Now looking back, I wish I would have taken a second look at some of those and
little late, biatch.
Like place those guardrails even higher, especially on issues that are just more private to their hearts.
To their hearts. Is it more private to their hearts? Here's what's happening. I can read right through her bullshit, like super ultra sweet persona here. I can read right through this bullshit. There are multiple children who are telling her to stop or we are going to whistleblow, right? There might be one or two. I think there are some kids that are like, you better stop and you better stop filming those other little kids because I'm going to come forward if you don't. She is being forced to do this. I promise you that. She's not doing this out of the graciousness of her heart or the mama bear in her heart. Nothing. Something is telling me that she is being told to do this, or it's going to get worse for her. That's the only way this makes sense.
Know that we looked at it a lot of times as we're helping a lot of you out there that are going through the same issue.
How are you helping? By making scripted ass videos about this stuff. Because none of it is real. It's scripted and disgusting, and you only put the good parts in. It's not helping anybody when what you're putting out is fake. That doesn't help anybody.
I'm my kid's mom. I'm their safe person, and it's up to me to kind of protect those things that are private. And over the last couple of...
Shut up. It's too late. It was up to you to protect them, and you didn't. You don't get to go back on it anymore. This is why it's wrong, guys. This is why informed consent matters, because you don't know if you're going to regret it later. And you're not going to tell them you might regret it later, because clearly she's regretting it later. And now there's nothing you can do about it. So it's always important to err on the side of protection, because you don't know what you're going to regret. So just don't put it out there.
Months, I've had some real heart-to-hearts with my kids.
Bridger.
And we need to make some changes.
Yeah. So again, the kids are just becoming disenfranchised with it. They don't like it anymore. They're getting bullied. They're not going to have relationships with anybody. They're seeing that Cass is out there and probably has a terrible marriage. They don't want to do that. Cass exploited these kids more than Tiffany did, to be honest with you. Okay, now Cass having her own baby, and she's probably going to leave them in the dust, because she's going to completely exploit that child. And I'm going to completely snark the shit out of her when that happens too. Don't get it twisted. It's happening. Freaking, that woman. Ugh. But you don't get to do this now. You don't get to be all sweet music behind, I may regret it.
Don't get me wrong. I am so happy that we were able to help many of you. We received
You didn't help anybody.
so many emails from thank you so much for helping me understand what an amazing gift adoption is. And
That's so stupid. You're such a liar.
I used to kind of somehow be ashamed of being adopted, but now I realize it's amazing and it's a blessing. And I mean, those, I will hold those forever in my heart, for real. And then
For real.
some of you that with the bullying things that my kids have gone through, a lot of you have talked about how you've been bullied and how it really helped you realize that
Here's what you do if you're bullied. Tell the internet, because that'll go over well.
if Sadie or Luke or any of my kids can go through bullying, then you can too. And
You mean come out the other side? Is that what you're saying?
and how to have courage to talk to an adult and some of those things. So I have loved that we've been able to help many of you, but now
Music is pissing me off.
I am 5 years wiser, and these are actually my kids' stories to tell and to share with the world.
Not anymore, asshole. Not anymore. They're not your kids' stories to tell. You already told them. You already gave them away to everybody on the internet. They are no longer theirs, and they never will be ever again. You took that from your kids. You stole that from your kids. You sold it to strangers for money. And predators, too. Something tells me maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's some blackmail happening. I don't know. Something's happening.
They want to. But telling these stories now while they're still young, as their mother, I need to guide them towards keeping things more private. And
Too late, asshole. It's too late. She keeps saying this. I need to be more private. You told all of their stories already. There's nothing else to tell.
then when they're older and when they're over 18, they can share all of those heartfelt stories that they want to.
You know what they're going to do when they turn 18? They're going to share those stories and throw you right under the damn bus, and they should.
I need to back it up just a little bit. The one thing that helped me have an epiphany about this a few months ago was I was
Bridger.
talking to one of my teenagers about a really hard decision that they were making, and it was really one of those
And I was filming it. And I'm like, can I film this moment?
heartfelt conversations. And another one of my teenagers was sitting by kind of listening and chiming in a little bit. And then the one sitting by listening said, oh, this would actually make for a really good YouTube video.
I'm going to stop you there and tell you that this is actually horrible. Okay, this isn't some violin music behind this. This kid has been conditioned that when they hear something serious going on in their family, oh, you know what? Forget this problem you're having. You know, this would make a really good YouTube video. This isn't a flex, everybody. This is actually horrible. You are a horrible person for training your kids to think that anything that they do or go through would make a great YouTube video. That's actually heartbreaking. I'm so sad for these children. Unbelievable. It's grooming.
And I was like, oh, wait
Did I do that?
a minute. Are
You did that, Tiffany.
you looking at life to too much through like the lens of a camera of what would make a good video. And for my teenager to be looking at life that way, it just really hit home that like maybe I had been looking at it that way over my
Yes, you have. That's why your kids picked up on that, and that's what they think. They think to get your approval, they need to make content that's going to get you more views, and she probably has major favorites because the favorites are the ones who are willing to be in the videos more than others. She absolutely has favorites, like 100%. Okay, those kids are more stars on the channel, they're favorites. Make them more money, they're favorites. Okay, they have favorites. But unless the next words that come out of your mouth are, I messed up so bad, I'm so sorry to my children, I'm going to remove everything I put on the internet, and we are going to just wait till they're old enough to make the choice, and then we'll make content with those kids if they want to. If that's not what comes out of your mouth next, go f*** yourself.
Teenager to be looking at this like big decision that she was making and think that would be appropriate to put on YouTube. I was like...
And now this makes me wonder, what decision was this teenager trying to make that even you were appalled that someone's like, let's not put this on the internet? Like, what happened? And I'm glad you didn't tell anybody, but that's got to be something crazy.
Oh my gosh, like, no, it's not. Like, that's a private thing, and I don't want her looking at life in our family through the lens of a camera. Like,
too late, butt crack. Too late.
What would make good content and what wouldn't. That's not how I want to live our lives.
Too late. Again, too effing late.
I want our lives to be real and valued and conversations to be...
There you go. There's the admittance that she's admitting it out loud. Everything in the past 5 years has not been real. Our life has not been real. She's like, I want to stop that, and I want to go back to the real way. She's not saying that, but that's what she's saying. Okay, that's what she means. So she just admitted to you the last 5 years of these kids' lives has not been real, and it has been faked for a camera. That is heartbreaking for these children. 5 years of developmental age years? That's insanity.
Private, and just to keep the sacredness of a...
And it's probably something like the kid is gay or transgender or something like that. That's probably what it is. And of course she doesn't want to share that. I mean, she's a conservative Mormon. It's probably something that she's like, how is one of my kids a Democrat?
Family intact. To be honest, at first, we felt like we were controlling it. But now lately, I feel like in a way it's controlling us.
That's called evil. And that's because money is the root of all evil. Now, having money is not evil. Okay, if everything you do is just to get money, that pursuit is evil. I'm only speaking to the people who believe in this type of stuff, like Mormons. Okay, they believe what the Bible says. They believe what the Book of Mormon says. The pursuit of that stuff is evil. They are literally icons to people. People idol worship not enough Nelsons, and they know it, and they make content for that. And they know that they're idols. If you knew you were an idol, and you were in a religion where idolatry was a sin, you would do everything in your power to unbecome an idol. Does that make sense? Francis Chan was an amazing pastor who spoke of this very, very... I love Francis Chan. I think his name is Francis Chan. Yeah, I think. He wrote a book called Crazy Love. And if you Christian or not, read the book. It's incredible, okay? But he was a pastor of a mega church. And when people started saying his name more than God's name, he quit. And he became a missionary in China. He left. He's like, that's not what I'm here for. And I'm not saying he's like that anymore. I'm just saying back in the day, this is the way he thought. If you are an idol to people and you are causing people to sin by the sin of idolatry, you're in sin. So these people are like this, are lying to you. Okay? They are living in massive amounts of sin and coming across like they're innocent.
It's just taken over a lot of our mindset of things like where we go on vacation, what we want to do in the morning, where we're going to go out to eat. Like, oh, would that be okay to film?
See? She's admitting it all to you guys. She's admitting it with sweet music behind it, so it's not hitting as hard. I wish I could cut this music out and put real music behind it. Like the sad, dark music that should be happening right now. She's like, every decision we made was like, how can we make this into content? Could you imagine living your life like that in a family of 15 where you already don't get enough time with your mom and dad? It's impossible to. Because everything that they're doing now is like, how do we make content out of this? And she's admitting it to you out loud. She should lose 1 million subscribers because of this.
I don't want it to control our lives anymore. I want to go on vacation wherever we want to go, whether we can film it or not. I want to have a fun...
What do you mean whether you can film it or not? Where can you go on vacation when you can't film it?
family dinner without thinking, oh, we should pull out the camera because those guys are doing such cute dance moves. I just want to enjoy our family, and I know my...
After she's made $20 million. Just don't ever forget this, guys. She's all saying, like, in hindsight, I want to just go live normal, because what they're doing is getting sick of it. That's all that's happening right now. They're just getting tired of it. They're so over it. After they've already made generational wealth. After they've already exploited the kids to the point where they've made tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars. So it's easy to say now when you're set up for the rest of your life based on exploitation. It's not like they're leaving at the height of their channel. It's peaked. It's done. They don't make nearly as many views as they used to. They're kind of done. Like if you go to their oldest video, or just go to their videos in general, right? Latest videos are getting 1.2 million. Like they're still getting insane amounts of views, okay? Insane amounts. 1.2 million, 1 million, 1 million. This is a couple years ago. 6 million, 2 million, 1 million. Like barely anything under 1.5 million. See, it's about their adoption stories. It's about the girls in the video. The ones that get the most views are the girls in the video. Like they're still very, very making a lot. It's just not as much as it once was. And it's not that much less. It's still really a lot.
Even though they don't realize it, they feel like this is great and this is fun and there's nothing wrong with it. I feel like I need to make some changes.
No, you're being held accountable. And you're lying to everybody about it too.
So I'm gonna go gather the kids and let them tell you kind of how they're feeling.
No, you just told me their kids don't want to change anything. It's just you doing it. So why are you asking them? That's odd that you're doing that.
And we're gonna talk about it openly about the kind of videos that we are gonna film, what we're not gonna film, and
there you go. Waiting for that. We are still gonna film.
Some of the changes that we're gonna make as a family on Not Enough Nelsons. All right.
Holy, it's dusty in there. She really copy and pasted though. You can't, because Tyson's got their faces blocked out, but she copy and pasted. Holy shit, genetics.
I have gathered you guys here today to talk to you about something really important. Okay? Mm-hmm. So as you know, we have...
I want, just for a few minutes, Tyson, we're gonna unblock this, unblur this, because I want you to see how they're reacting to the camera. Right? They're trained even to this degree to look in the lens and smile brightly, and this is like, these kids have been groomed for this. And it's freaking children under the stairs, children of the corn type of thing. It's crazy. This is really scary. Just for a few minutes, Tyson.
We've been talking a lot over the past couple months about some changes that we need to make on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, my question to you is, what are some of the videos you guys...
These two aren't very impressed with what's going on. Something's going on here. It's really weird.
Absolutely love to film the light of your day, that it's fun.
You can blur it now, Tyson.
And it goes fast, you love it.
Probably like the Among Us videos or sneaking out videos.
In real life ones. Like in real life, you mean, for Among Us? Because Among Us.
Yeah, like that was fun for the in real life Among Us setting.
Okay, so like in real life videos.
Yes, I also love collaborating with like other creators. Like it's super fun. Like,
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is really fun.
Or the one from last year, like where we got that whole family present.
Oh yeah, and like I like when we went to Olive Garden and like the angel tree.
Yeah.
And we like bought a bunch of like things for everybody. That was really fun.
Those are way fun. Mm-hmm. Any other suggestions of things you love to film?
Like the drive-thru.
Oh yeah, the drive-thru one.
Wife, and then he made a face. You sure?
Drive-thru, Hawaii, super fun.
Vlogs. Yeah,
vlogs. Oh.
They're all vlogs.
Okay, so we are going to be changing that a little bit. Like, give me some examples of some vlogs that you like filming, Sadie.
I like filming the morning routines. I like filming the back to school.
It's odd. I know maybe these kids are just having a cold right now, but I think I hear a lot of these kids talk sometimes, and most of them, it sounds like their voice is always gone because they're probably trying to yell in a house where no one will ever hear them.
Like some of the like more real life ones.
Real life.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I love it. I love that. Can I just jump on that really fast?
Yeah.
So some things that I feel like we really need to change are a lot of the real life stuff. Like I'm okay with certain things, but over the years I've learned a lot. In the past 5 years, I have really...
Don't they have 15 kids? Where are they all? Interesting that they only chose like, how many is here? 8?
A lot of wisdom about what I feel like is okay as a mom to put online and what I don't. And hindsight's 2020, and moving forward, there are a lot of things that I don't feel comfortable putting on. And so...
No, now it's a little late for that!
So some of those things are in like real life moments. We've talked a ton about it, but it's those really in real life moments of our family that I'm gonna be super careful about and put safeguards up for. And so...
Again, lady, way too late.
One of the things is anytime any of you have like a problem or like you feel like you're being bullied or like friends are not, you know, not like tons of friends at school, or you want to change schools or some of those things, I really feel like I want to limit or not even have any of those types of videos anymore.
Too late.
I know that Sadie's voice to me in private, like some of the stuff that she did about being bullied at school or like wanting to switch schools and that kind of emotional time that she had, it really did help other young people.
Yeah, we like low-key received like tons of emails about like people just saying that they were struggling too, and it just like felt good knowing that we helped a ton of people.
Yeah.
These kids are absolutely being groomed to say this stuff.
Yes, which is awesome, and I love that. But what I'm thinking is like, where you're 17, almost 18 years old, if you want to share some of those real life, you know, feelings and memories and like aha moments, that's totally okay because you're an adult.
Oh, shut up.
But you guys know that Janie is not on camera at all. And speaking about Janie, I just want to kind of tell you a little bit more about that. So about a year ago, Janie came to me and just said, Mom, I don't want to be on camera anymore. I really, really want those personal memories that I make and experiences I have, and I'm getting married and things like that. I just don't want it on camera.
Here you go, everybody. Janie. Janie's the one. And here's the thing. If one of your children of your family comes to you and says, look, I don't want to be on camera anymore. I actually want to stop this. I hate it. And your thing is to be like, okay, we just won't put you on camera anymore. But then still go and completely do your whole life on camera. You're an asshole. Because you don't need to be on camera to be a family. You're already so rich, it's insane. At that point, you should have sat down and been like, hey guys, we're not going to do this anymore because one of your siblings, and it's more than one, I guarantee you that, doesn't want to do this anymore. And so in order to include them in our family, we're going to stop doing that. Because we want them to be in our family more than we want the fame from YouTube. Because they're more important than this thing. That would have been an amazing lesson for your kids, that they matter to you more than your fame, more than the money that YouTube brings into you. That would have been an incredible journey. You would have been an amazing person for doing it too, and then Janie, or whatever her name is, would have felt valuable. More valuable than this thing. But for her to continue on and do it all just makes Janie realize that, okay, well, you don't have to be, but we're all going to go do it. Do you see how that makes you look? You're a selfish twat. That's how it makes you look, because that's what you are.
I want to hold those like treasures in my heart. What she said really hit home to me. Another thing that she said, you know, Mom, when you get all this fun stuff out, and we do all this fun stuff for the holidays, as soon as like you bring out a camera, it's like, it's just for filming. It doesn't feel like real anymore.
So Janie helped her change her mind, but it doesn't mean she's going to stop, because she just said we're still going to film stuff.
I understand that. Sometimes it's like that. Like for Christmas, it's like that sometimes because like I feel like it's like we have to get this on camera else we can't do it.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah.
Hear this, guys. This is really, really important what these kids are saying. And I know they're trying to make their mom, their mom is basically giving them permission right now to tell the truth. And so you need to listen to everything that these kids are saying. You're right. Especially at Christmas, we can't get anything done unless the camera captures it. That's what this kid just told you. This kid looks like she's 10 years old. Okay? That's what this kid just told you. She told you the truth about their life. That they can't even have normal family things unless the camera's out filming them. That's so heartbreaking.
Like at the same time, it's also super fun because it's like memories.
No, yeah.
You're like, remember. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
You can also use your memory.
And so, yeah, and we'll talk about what I feel with different kinds of things like that with holidays. We'll talk about what we absolutely are not going to film, and what we love to film. So any other suggestions about what we love to film? What are some other things? Challenges? Do you guys have challenges?
Yes,
Yeah, like how I took over the camera and did like our hair video. Like,
Yeah, that was so fun.
It sounded like you did challenges before, and the kids didn't like it. And so that you went to the real life stuff because it was easier, and they found it easier because they weren't working as hard with scripted content. And now you're going back to those things that they didn't like before. That's what it sounds like to me.
challenges are like
Look, your kid's in the shower. Let's film it.
real life, but not like it's just more of us having fun.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
for real, I just feel like there's certain things where like, oh, like maybe we could like do this or do that.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's just planned, but it's still real. With
Yeah,
it's not real.
planned fun family event. I'm totally okay with that. But as far as like getting really personal or talking about our personal lives, I just don't want to do that anymore. So I
Too late.
don't want that on Not Enough Nelsons or Nan Fam. But I love that you guys love to hang out with each other and make memories and have, you know, all these fun challenges you do and stuff. I think that's perfect.
I would love to see what she's actually like in real life. And I can't wait till someone whistleblows, because there's no way she's like this in real life. This woman is likely a crazy bitch in real life. I'm not joking. She's probably a Karen. Speak to the manager. She probably have to walk on eggshells around her. There's no way that she's like this in real life. She probably sleeps till noon.
Okay. So as far as the things that we're not going to do, one of the things that I feel Just like I've learned a lot over the last 5 years. Like this is my first experience too. This is my first experience on Earth, like all of you guys being on so many.
Yes, but your first experience shouldn't have to be testing your kids and using them as an experiment against their informed consent. So she's like using her kids as this, well, we tried it 5 years, but it was a bad idea now that I look back on it. You idiot. Now it's too late, you butthole.
Kids, this is my first experience being on YouTube, you know, over the last 5 years. And I've learned a ton. I feel like I've gained a ton of wisdom over the last couple of years, especially what's not going to be okay and what I don't feel comfortable about putting on camera.
Now, does that mean you're going to go ahead and delete all those videos with the personal things about your kids? I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Because she would have already done it before doing this video. Because you can go right to their channel on, look at their what it's called. You can go here and you can tell that they haven't deleted any videos. None. Nothing's been deleted. So why aren't you deleting anything? If you're so pissed off that you've shared all these personal information that you didn't want to share before, why do you still have those videos on there? Gathering views, making you money.
Okay, so one of those things is emergency room videos. Like when we very first did our first emergency room video, I was FaceTiming.
This one gets me because this is the worst thing you could do to people. This is the worst thing you can do. Emergency room videos? Oh my God. Look, she didn't delete any. 1.4 million views on that one. Safety series. That's the whole playlist. Look at this. Rushing the emergency room on Easter. 1.3 million. Another trip to the emergency room. It's stuck, and there's an arrow pointing to her crotch. I don't care if it's pointing at her hand. It's also pointing at her crotch because the thumbnail is small. Okay, it's stuck. 2.2 million views, one of their daughters in emergency room. You f***ing dickholes. They were making millions of dollars off just going to the emergency room. Emergency kits for teen girls, back to school, 2.2. That's periods. That's tampons and maxi pads. These just crack asses.
Benji, actually. And so he was just screaming.
Yeah, why isn't Benji in this video talking about how he doesn't like to do it either? Where's Benji in this? Benji's an asshole.
We were able to put a lot of that footage together and create an emergency room video. And then for a while we were like, you know what, these might really help kids. Like if they're ever in the emergency room and they're really scared, like this could really help them.
Do you think a kid who's in an emergency situation is going to look up one of your videos while they're in an emergency? Is that how they're going to help them? Or just let parents take care of that stuff. Your video isn't going to help anybody in an emergency situation. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, this is what she did. She tells her kids, this is why we do this, because we help people. Frick!
But in reality, that's not okay with me anymore. Like as far as...
But why? You don't want to help people anymore? Is that why? What about helping people? It's not okay with you anymore, but you're helping people. I'm upset that you don't want to help people anymore.
Talking about like medical things or accidents and things like that, we're not going to do anymore. And we actually haven't. There's been a couple of things that we've had, this past year, and...
Well, you deserve a pat on the back.
We haven't put on camera, and that just feels a lot better to us. So, for sure, no emergency room videos. And second, I don't want to put anything that's real life. So, no bullying, no, like, if having a hard time with friends.
Then why did you keep the other stuff on there?
And maybe even, like, period talk videos. Like,
oh, yeah, maybe? Maybe period talk videos? Maybe period talks. That's the worst one out of all those. That's the one that predators come to the most. So what do you mean maybe?
I feel like period talk videos are fun because like some people don't have like an older sibling.
See, this is what these kids are literally conditioned to believe. Some people don't have an older sibling talk, so they come to us. What? No! For eons, we've gotten away with it. We figured it out. We don't need a Not Enough Nelson video for my daughter to look up about her period. You got a mother, at the very least. And if you've got a dad and your dad doesn't know, he can figure it out. Okay? Are you serious right now? These kids are telling you everything you need to know. Their mother has told them. The reason we do these private videos is because it helps people.
People like don't have like an adult figure that they can like talk to about.
No!
Stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an adult figure somewhere in your life, even if it isn't your parents. You likely go to school. You likely have a friend who has a mom or a dad. Okay? There is an adult figure, and these kids aren't adult figures. They're not the ones giving it's kids giving advice. So are you saying that it's your responsibility to take over the adult responsibility? What?
And I also feel like as an older sister, like it's sometimes like fun to talk to your younger siblings about that.
Cool. Talk to them off camera. You don't have to talk to them on camera about the period, because again, that brings the predators to the yard.
Like help them figure out all the different things.
Yeah. Like it's more just a girl talk video. I think I'm okay with that. I just don't ever.
This is great. He's like, yeah, cool.
Want you guys when you grow up to feel like that you divulge personal things that you really weren't comfortable being out there. Yeah.
Again, dumbass. You have like hundreds, if not thousands, of videos out there like that.
And so, like always, like I always tell my kids, if you don't want something in a video, they just say like, oh, don't put that in the video, and we don't put it in there. But I'm gonna look at it
Because you're such a good man.
now, even a little bit closer with even higher safeguards of is that too personal what she just shared? Even though she was comfortable and she shared it, is it too personal? And am I gonna just take that out of the video? And so I'm okay with some period talk videos, just not personal about your own life. So
Don't do period talk videos. Just don't.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And third, I don't think we're gonna do holidays anymore because
Those are my favorite.
I just feel like they are, but like I'm not gonna film Thanksgiving anymore because I feel like the whole time I was just filming and I, get the meal on, but we didn't have those like little talks we normally have when trying to cook dinner.
See, she's telling you out loud everything. All the holidays we've had for the past 5 years, it's been all about filming. They haven't had a normal family semblance of anything for 5 years. She's telling you out loud, man.
And have those little moments because we felt like, the camera's there, so you gotta like do this or do that, right? Yeah. Get this good shot of the turkey being carved. And we can't really enjoy it ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I also don't think we're gonna do Christmas this year. I know.
Christmas?
They just told you they didn't like it, so why are they all upset?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do Christmas, but I don't think we're gonna film actual Christmas this
But
year.
that's
my favorite.
so like one of the funnest videos we do because it's like we're gonna share what we got with everyone and it's like super fun.
I feel like we do a haul.
because of, like, the birthday.
I think we're still gonna do hauls now.
She's like, yeah, let's... No, we're not doing any of that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like we should
still
film
do
Christmas.
Well, I have an idea for this year for Christmas. So because Cass's baby is due at the beginning of December, Kennedy's gonna be in town. And this is their off year with us. And so they're actually not gonna be with us during Christmas. And so maybe what we could do is kind of just have, almost like we just show and do our normal traditions, like have a Christmas special.
So she just said we're not going to film Christmas, but then we're going to film Christmas. So everything she's saying is just a damn lie.
Does that make sense?
yeah.
So like, well, Kennedy and Cassidy, Josh are here, whoever can come to that, we'll do like a Christmas special where we do all of our fun traditions for Christmas Eve, completely the actual Christmas Day, but we'll still be able to do all the fun traditions.
Anyway!
Then on the actual holiday, you guys can like literally come down with a top knot on your head and a face mask if you want, right?
Hear that? So on Christmas Day, you don't have to get all done up for the camera to come down to this Christmas. That's what she just told you guys. That's crazy. So she tells her children, you have to get ready before you come down for Christmas because we're filming it.
It doesn't matter, like there's not a camera there, it's just all about making the memories as a family. So I feel good about that. But it's not gonna be that every year, right? And so sometimes you might see our Christmas, you might not see our Christmas, you might see our Easter, maybe not. Just
Maybe we will, maybe we won't, maybe you'll see this. So basically you're not committing to anything. That's what I'm hearing right now. So all that talk, you're not committing to anything.
know that we love you and we want to let you in on some really fun parts of our lives. At the same time, we have to safeguard and keep
Too late!
some of those like memories special and just our family.
I understand that.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so
You didn't say for sure if we're gonna be doing morning routines.
Oh yeah, are we gonna be doing
Yeah,
routines, like after school routines, night routines?
well, okay, so all of my kids have a different level of comfort on camera, right? So Janie absolutely doesn't like camera at all. And then there's all the way over here, it's like Cass and Presley and Paisley who absolutely love doing Get Ready With Me's and all of that, right?
Yeah.
And so I think I am gonna limit morning routines just to help those who don't like love to be on camera. So maybe once or twice a year, we'll do a morning routine.
So we're gonna do it still.
And also just know, like if one of the kids are not in that morning routine, they still went to school, they still got ready, they are still very loved their family, they just weren't feeling it that morning.
See, that's what she's so worried about. Is that the people are like, "Where's this person? Where's this person?" She's like, they're still loved. They're still loved." That's what she has to worry about. These are the things she has to worry about because somebody's not on camera and they're gonna get comments about it.
Or they didn't want to be on camera. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care if they're having a bad hair day and they don't want to be on camera. They're not going to be on camera. So just know that's fine. We still love them. They're still going to school. It's just we're not going to show them. Yeah.
There's some shit going on in this family right now. This is shit.
I think I am going to limit it to a couple years. I answered your question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other questions you have about what we are not going
Are we
to
gonna film like the first day of school, like stuff? It's like
I feel like, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
fun.
I feel like we should. I feel like
I
that'd
say
be
it's
fun.
fun because it like shows like
I think it is,
first
but
day, so
If like somebody's like, oh, I'm going to get like,
Well-
they can be like, oh, this is cute, and like they.
This girl is like her mother, and that's really sad. And hopefully she has a wake up call and like doesn't want to do this later because it looks like she's gonna be Cass.
So like, I think that.
Well, I think it should be
actually decided
yeah.
like morning.
I think it should be as the morning
That's more of
routine
a planned video, not really a. Like,
where we.
Yeah.
I think it should be more
Shit's dusty in here, man.
like a casual, like maybe sometimes thing because what if like your first day of school, like per se was like a really bad first day of school, you don't want to come home and
Yes.
have to show everybody your routine and
So here's the thing.
Again, they're telling you things out loud. They're saying it all out loud. What if I came home from school and I didn't want to talk about it? It didn't matter for the past 5 years. It didn't matter. She filmed it.
So I remember having a rough morning, right? So here's the thing. You can film it if you want, or you don't have to. Or say that you do film it and you're like, Mom, I have a slight come apart in the morning. I'm not really comfortable showing my morning routine. It's out. Like, it's just that easy. It's that simple. You don't want it in, it's out. And it's always kind of been that way. And
Sounds like it.
I know that you've known
Sounds like you're making it up right now.
it, but I want you to really know it. If there's any moment in a video that you're like, Mom, can you cut that part out? It's gone. Like, don't
Sounds like you weren't doing that before then. That's what it sounds like. Interesting that.
hesitate. I want to say, or even like, can you just cut me out of that whole video? I just felt like I didn't even like feel very good, or it
That's what you said you've been doing already. So what are you saying right now? You're lying!
wasn't very fun to me. I don't really want it. It's gone. Like, what's the harm, right?
Yeah.
We only want to have fun. And when I set out to do this, it was with those parameters. Like, I want to have fun. I want to create treasured memories that will remember forever with this experience. And sometimes I feel like it's turned more into a 6 to 8 hour a week job. And I want it to be more fun than a job. And also,
Still a job!
if it is a job and you guys are getting paid, that's great. But people don't often intermingle their job with their really personal life.
Except for you for the past 5 years.
They just don't. And so we're going to keep those separate. Like, when we
No, you're not.
do the video, it's a planned video. We know what we're doing this fun experience, and we're going to show it. And then the rest of our life, cameras are off.
And this is like
But not for the past 5 years, you buttholes.
more like a
Half that girl's life right there.
job. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to like even if you like aren't on time to your job, you can still like you know, like, you still,
Yeah, you get fired if you're not on time.
I think we definitely found like something that a lot of us love and called it work, but I feel
more
like
like
some
fun.
parts of it have turned into just work.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think
There you go.
we were just
Parts of it are just work.
gonna try and find balance.
Also, I was thinking, I forgot to ask you this with holidays. Like, what about birthdays?
Okay, so that is a good question. So we have Maggie's birthday coming up very soon, and this is what I was thinking. Tell me if you think this is like a good compromise.
Maybe don't do this on camera.
So I think we'll show like
Because she's not going to give you a real answer.
us getting all the decorations ready and all wrapping all the presents and like all the fun, and maybe just the fun with our family, right? And then when your friends start arriving to your party, just the camera turns off.
I bet you, this is probably pretty telling, but I bet you some of the kids can't have other kids at their birthdays, like friends and stuff, because they don't want their children in a vlog on the internet. They don't want their kids exposed to this stuff. And so these kids probably don't have friends because they don't, oh, you're not going to the Nun Nun Nelson's house. No, all they do is film their entire life. I don't want you on a YouTube video. No, thanks. So there's been problems with these kids in the past who can't have friends because those friends are like, yeah, my mom says I can't hang out with you because you literally are on the internet. So no, that's probably what's happened. Boyfriends too, girlfriends, similar stuff. Yeah.
That way, when friends come, because they might not also be totally like comfortable on camera, if like they can be themselves and really have fun at your party, and I want them to have fun at your party.
That makes
So-
sense.
And don't worry, we'll still do like get taller,
Don't worry, we'll still film.
whatever. But does that sound okay to you?
Yeah.
Does that sound like better?
Like she's gonna say anything different.
So you kind of get the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We get to show all of the fun we're having and all that we're doing, but then you can still have
you
those
still have
private
like, private
moments.
moments with your friends.
Yeah, because that's also really important. Private moments with family and private moments with friends, we need to safeguard for sure.
Little late now.
Another reason that you might not see some of these guys in some videos is when they were younger, they loved it and like life was a little bit more simple. But when you become a teenager, there's school and getting good grades in school. There's cheer, there's competitive cheer, there's like church activities that we do, and just like life, right? And so
So what, you're saying the last 5 years they never got to do any of the life?
sometimes they just might not be in a video because they're too busy. And again, it's not that they don't love our fans and love you guys and want to.
Look how many times she has to say this. Look, it's not, she has to keep qualifying it. They're not in the video. You guys have to understand, it's just because their life. Yeah, like she is so worried about what it means when one of the kids don't show up in the video because likely there's going to be less and less kids in these videos. There's something going on.
Be part of whatever we're doing, but just sometimes we just get too busy, and I want them to really live a real full life.
Too late.
And not feel like they have to always be available to work 6 to 8 hours a week. Because although
She keeps saying 6 to 8 hours a week. It's way more than 6 to 8 hours a week, guaranteed.
that doesn't seem like an awful lot, to a kid that can seem like a lot. It's like
It's like 6 to 8 hours a day, probably.
6 to 8 hours, and although they get paid really well for it, I want them to experience life, and I want them to experience growing up and being a teenager and not even focus on the fact that they're like putting money in their savings. Just I want them to live. That makes sense.
Shut up.
Any other questions?
Not really. I don't
Not
know.
really
It's
on
good.
that one, no.
All right, so that having been said,
Yes.
we're going to tell you guys our new schedule. So we are only
We're stopping family vlogging, but here's the new schedule for family vlogging.
filming one video per week on Not Enough Nelsons. And it will be posted every Wednesday. And just know that it will be exactly what everyone in our family felt was a great idea to film, and we're gonna have fun doing it. So just one. As far as NanFam goes, I'm leaving it up to you guys. These guys mostly run NanFam, and so if some weeks you do 2 videos, great. If some weeks you do 1, but when they post that, I think you're gonna post on Tuesday. So Tuesdays are
We're stopping, but we're not stopping. Still 3 videos a week.
Fridays, watch out.
So stupid.
The NemFam videos, and it's basically going to be run by them and what they want to do or what they don't want to do. So,
And our like NemFam videos have always been like, we said no more vlogs. They've been, if I put it as teenage vlogs, where we literally
just fun vlogs.
we literally just do whatever.
I can't hear anything anybody's saying.
You should only have fun. Like,
I don't know what anybody's saying.
I started with Kennedy a long time ago. Obviously, these two absolutely love filming, and they will be starting their own channels. Again, they're
Loser. I don't want my kids to work too much, but these 2 little ones, the youngest, they're starting their own channel. Yay! I don't want them to give away too much of their life. I want them to live normal childhoods, but they're starting their own channel. Everything this woman has just said has been erased in this last 3 seconds. So nothing is changing, except they're working more now. Are you hearing this? Oh my gosh!
be huge safeguards on the sides of that. It will not be about their personal life per se. It's just going to be more getting ready and the things
It's gonna be going to Sephora
that they enjoy doing for their channels, right? And as the kids get older, as the kids come to me and want to do their channels, they might be doing channels too. And so
channels. I'm gonna channels.
you'll have to stay tuned for that. All right, guys. So do you feel good
You're a loser. I hate you.
about all these changes?
Yes.
Yeah.
All these changes, eh? So many changes. We're not gonna do period videos. No, we're gonna do period videos. We're not gonna do Christmas. Well, we'll do a little Christmas. We're not gonna do that. Yeah, we'll do a little of that. Everything that she said, they're gonna do it all still and add more channels.
Yep. All right. Well, that is the end of the video, and we will see you in our next video. But until then, cameras are off.
You're a douche. What an idiot. What an absolute moron. Everything she just said in that first part of the video, she's so worried about something. Something's going on with the kids. And then by the end of the video, she reneges on all of it and says, no, we're gonna actually do more. We're gonna do more. So we're gonna do 2 videos a week on NenFam. We're gonna do 1 in this one. And then the little girls are starting their own channel. You cannot be serious right now. You want your kids to have a normal childhood, but you're letting them start YouTube channels? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You are out of your mind. Why do I keep asking that? Of course you're crazy and out of your mind. You're a douchebag. And everybody knows it. I cannot wait for these kids to actually whistleblow on Tiffany and Kenneth, or what's her face? Just Ass. I can't wait. Because when the shit actually comes out about who these people really are, you are going to be like, I can't believe it. And I'm going to be like, oh, I believe it. I 100% believe it. I'm actually surprised not worse. That's what you're going to see. Ugh. I hate these types of people. Anyway, everybody, take a deep breath. You need one after people like that. They're just insufferable. Why even make a video when nothing is actually going to change? I don't get it. It's so stupid. You're so dumb. But you're not dumb. You're awesome. Don't you forget it. People need you here. Your kids need you in your life, so take care of yourself, okay? Love yourself. Go have a hot bath or something. Go for a nice brisk walk when it's cold outside. You need it. You do you. Because you're amazing. And I'll see you when I see you.